Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode, fresh off of win number 2 of our career and season at Sonoma Raceway after getting a little rough with Martin Truex Jr. and he leaked the news that we're going to his car next season in frustration of how that ended. That led to an interesting brief chat with Kaulig Racing.
So when were you planning to tell us you were leaving?
A couple weeks still.
Why so long? This is a business. We need to know immediately.
I mean, I'm sorry, it's just what they told me over there at JGR.
You're lucky you're in the playoffs. I'd get rid of you right now with all the bull you've caused last year and now this little stunt. Get out of my office.
So then, we roll into Chicago. You hear the conversation there as well. Going into qualifying, you'll hear just a media question or two that we were responding to as well with this weekend coming up and the news going to Joe Gibbs Racing. But certainly we're the face of the sport this weekend, you could say, because, I mean, we're going to Truex's car. This is a big deal, Joe Gibbs Racing in the 19, but obviously it comes out in a really awkward way after we, got a little rough with him. In our defense, he roughed us up multiple times a lap before, and I felt like it was fair game. But practice went okay. You can tell to kind of match the vibe. Wasn't really able to focus on it with the news coming out. But now, as we qualify, let's take a listen to one of the media questions that we had to deal with.
You've been a bit of a controversial driver so far in your first season and a half, Gary. Will your personality work at Joe Gibbs Racing?
Yeah. I think you guys are just blowing it out of proportion at this point. I'm just excited to get into the car in Chicago and see what we can do. So there's our bit for the weekend, meeting with Kaulig and meeting with the media as well, and just trying to get out of the way and focus in on qualifying. And, the goal with a 30.834 in qualifying, what can we do? Coming to the start-finish line, we crossed the line a little bit off, and that puts us P20 for the Camping World 400 in NASCAR's return to this speedway. Of course, we haven't even been able to talk about that yet. But at the back of the grid, you got Austin Dillon and BJ McLeod as RCR continues to struggle, but Kyle Busch up there at P21. On pole, though, William Byron, Christopher Mell up there, and Ty Gibbs, Larson, and Buescher, the top 5. We had Truck Series and Xfinity action this weekend as well. On the Truck Series side, Brett Holmes won the dirt race in Eldora. I did not do Xfinity. I thought Xfinity was in Chicago. I was wrong, but I believe it lines up next episode and we can finally get another Xfinity race in. But it was Jade Buford who won, which was a bit surprising there. So you can see the rest of the finishing order on your screen. But now, let's get ready to go racing on Sunday.
We're ready to roll here in NASCAR's return to Chicagoland. After a few years gone, we brought the sport back to the 1.5-mile track.
Such an awesome track to return to, Mike. The next gen is great on these types of tracks, and now we have a chance to give Chicagoland some new life.
And we all remember that finish between Larson and Kyle Busch here a few years ago. Don't be shocked if we see another wild one today, boys.
All right, bud, it's been fun working with you this year. Let's focus on the last half and get after it.
Man, finally someone that wants to focus on the racing aspect. Let's get after it, guys. Ready to roll here in Chicago. I did say NASCAR was supposed to have an announcement in this episode. However, it's actually going to be coming next episode with all the other developments of this video. We have postponed it one episode, but it's just a little fun thing we're going to be doing. And if you paid attention to the off-season video, you'll have a good idea of what it's going to be as you see that Chev Ford of McLeod getting ready to roll. We got the Petro Canada colors back on the 16 machine here, ready to roll here from Chicagoland Speedway. William Byron leads the field to the green flag as NASCAR in Chicago, not on the street course unfortunately, but still a great oval nonetheless. It's back here in Chicagoland now for the Camping World 400 on the run down towards turn 1, a mirror full of the number 27 Andretti Global machine of Corey LaJoie. Now as you see Kyle Busch try to power his way forward. Richard Childress Racing, not been a good season for that team. They have been down when it comes to the R&D and the just performance of that team. Really just them are going to have to focus in on either, trying to win Daytona or, of course, just focus in on next season. Now, Kyle Busch is still in the bubble for the playoff picture. He is not out of the playoff picture by any means. He can still make it on points, but a couple of new names in the field. Matt DiBenedetto in the number 98 for the Andretti Global team. We, of course, have that third Andretti car make some starts here and there. We've seen the likes of Justin Allgaier, Rajah Caruth as well, and today we got Matt DiBenedetto in that number 98 there, another slick car made by Cooper as we go down into turn 3, and still on the outside here in lane number 2 with that 8 of Kyle Busch up the inside. Byron leads the first couple of laps early on in this race. Hendrick Motorsports looking, just as quick as they usually do, but we've still only seen one Hendrick driver go to victory lane, and that's Chase Elliott several times this season. He's got 5 wins compared to Byron and Larson, who have none. 3 wide here. Actually, McDowell forced the issue, and we actually have a little bit of contact right here, which put me up into the outside wall on the exit of turn 4, and that's going to lose me quite a bit of track position. So down to P27, and we're going to have to try and make some ground up here as we get down to the inside going into this first turn. I actually clipped the apron there, so just making matters worse, and that allows Austin Cindric now to go up my inside as he's going for the overtake now. But fortunately, he was not able to make it happen. And look at the run that we're able to build up here. We got the likes of LaJoy, his rookie teammate of Hocevar, Suarez around here as well, and you can see Hocevar going 3 wide with Kyle Busch and Suarez there briefly as I'm continuing to kind of struggle, but we continue to try and claw our way forward to the outside now of Kyle Busch. Kyle Larson actually has taken the lead from his teammate of William Byron. So Larson still looking for that first win this season out in front. He is, even though with Elliott winning 5 races, the regular season championship leader, but Elliott again out in front. Elliott takes it from Larson as we continue to focus on moving forward, and we're starting to make some headway now. Passing John Hunter up into 22nd place. We passed Suarez there just a few moments ago, and we have run down this next group again. We've gotten closer to Hocevar, and the number 12 today, it's Cole Custer filling in for the injured Ryan Blaney, of course, with a concussion, but we've run down this group of cars looking for a few more positions in the next lap or two, as Suarez hard into the outside wall, and the caution's going to fly on lap number 12. That was a big impact there for the number 99 UPS machine. Suarez's future still uncertain with the Trankhouse Racing team, and that is going to be a big shot to him there as we are making significant adjustments. As you could imagine, we're running down in 22nd. Really attacking on the wedge. Tire pressure is going up everywhere, all around every side of the car. So hopefully that will give us a bit of a fighting chance here now, but it's only going to be a few laps of racing here in stage 1. Cole Custer on that inside. I actually, unfortunately, forgot to change it from Zane Smith, so you still see the rookie stripes on the car, but you're going to see as well next episode, because we have 2 road courses on the way. You might be surprised by who's in that number 12 car going into the next episode. Penske had a plan to do a little Project 91, let's just say that, and now it might be going through the 12 car while Ryan Blaney is injured. So still not an exact timeline when Blaney's going to be back, but not a good restart for myself right there. Again, going backwards, and I think it's apparent right off the bat that we just don't have a car that's really capable of doing anything on the short run. Chase Elliott out in front. He's got Larson just behind him looking for the stage victory now as well, as those two are the top 2 in the regular season standings, but up to P26 as we start the final lap of the stage, but we are 3 wide through 1 and 2, just continuing to struggle. The first few laps on a run, I just can't go anywhere, but actually Chase Elliott through 3 and 4 would actually lose the lead to Martin Truex Jr. Truex was able to claw his way up there and pass Elliott. So Martin Truex Jr. Would lead out of turn 4. He's going to win stage 1 as we continue to just fall backwards there. Not a good first stage. P29. Absolutely horrendous there. Corey Heim in his first ever NASCAR Cup Series start for Legacy Motor Club as well today in the 44, down in 31st place there, but more adjustments immediately going into this car again on the wedge. I don't think I've attacked the wedge and the tire pressure this much in a race before, but we were going extremely aggressive because, I mean, look at us. We're 29th at the end of stage 1. That's absolutely abysmal. So we're going to get ready for stage 2. We gain 2 spots, move up to P27. Harrison Burton, Austin Cindric on the row in front of us, LaJoy and Corey Heim on the cars behind us now as we're going to get ready to go back racing here from Chicago. Truex, your stage 1 winner, led only 1 lap in stage 1. It was at the very end, of course, now, and stage 2 is officially underway from this Camping World 400. It has not been an easy race so far, that's obvious, but I'm confident we can still, rebound and get ourselves back into the mix of this thing. Now, a bit of a stack up on the exit of the corner. We're 3 wide with Harrison Burton and our teammate of AJ Allmendinger down this back straightaway as we continue down into turn 3. And I mean, the main thing that we saw in stage 1 was the short run in this car. The short run pace just doesn't quite seem to exist. However, I mean, right off the bat here in stage 2, we've already gained a few spots. Now we're up the inside of the 2. We passed the 3 of Austin Dillon. I mean, we're making some movement here forward now as Truex continues to lead. But if you can see it from here, Elliott's looking up his inside on the exit of the corner. So how long will Truex stay ahead? The answer is actually a little bit longer than I expected, but Chase Elliott eventually passes him here into turn 3 on lap number 3. Now Stenhouse there fights back to my outside. We're 3 wide with him and the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek, and Stenhouse was actually able to go in front of me here because in 1 and 2, just tapping the apron a little bit allowed that 47 to get clear. So down to 22nd. But we come to lap 5 of the stage and actually up the inside now of our former teammate of Justin Haley. We pass him for P21, and we are now starting to really allow this car to find its mojo a little bit, you could say. Truex takes the lead back of this race, but we're going to pass the 47 of Stenhouse, move into the top half of the field for the first time since like the first lap of the race. So we're making gains here, and you can see the car is getting better. We are running down the cars in front of us. You got Tyler Reddick there in the 45, not having a great day, of course, on the playoff bubble right now. His teammate Bubba Wallace with that win in Atlanta, already locked into the playoffs. Bubba Wallace has been running a little bit better recently, as we see smoke up ahead actually here, and it's the 31. It's our teammate of Daniel Hemrick, and this is a heartbreaking one. He was running in the top 10 for I think like the first time today since Atlanta earlier in the season. He was having a really competitive run, but look at the ground we gain out of our teammate's misfortune. Up to P15. Hemrick would return to the action. He is going to be back on track here. He's going to lose a couple of laps, but they would get him back out on track, and we just continue to make some serious gains right here, passing the 34 of McDowell to the inside of the 43 of Eric Jones on the exit of turn 4, and up ahead you can see in the pit lane exiting right now, that's the 31 of Hemrick heading back onto the track. So he does, like I said, give up 2 laps. Hocevar running P12. We're going to pass him here through the tri-oval on the apron. We'll cut down, and with 5 to go in the stage, we have almost gotten into the top 10. We were outside of the top 25 at the start of it. What a drive we have gone on here on these closing laps of the stage. We continue to close in on the cars ahead. Bubba Wallace P11. Logano's right there in the thick of this battle for the final stage point as Elliott and Truex are ending stage 2 the same way they ended stage 1, both swapping back and forth for the stage lead and victory. Logano down to P11 as Bubba Wallace is able to take that 10th spot as we come to the final lap of the stage. Elliott leads currently into turn number 1. Can he hold on to the outside of the Pennzoil machine? I love that 22 car made by Tyler Tinsley. It looks so good. And then you got this Dr. Pepper machine of Bubba Wallace. Looks absolutely gorgeous as well. As we come through 1 out of turn 2, we're going to stay committed to the top. Elliott still leads through 3 and 4. Does he hold on to the stage victory here in Chicagoland? No. Truex takes it again in the final corner, just like stage 1. Truex sweeps the first 2 stages. We wash up the track. It's not going to be any stage points. Alex Bowman P9, Bubba Wallace P10 as Logano crosses for P11. Myself, of course, in P12. Still overall, massive gains in this car on those last adjustments, but that was not enough. We're going to continue to just quite simply work on loosening this car up a little bit further now. As you can see, Bell, Larson, Kozlowski, 3rd, 4th, and 5th have all yet to visit victory lane this season. Could one of them finally pull it off today, or is it going to be the 9 or the 19? Those two just seem to be going back and forth. But once again, adjustments on tire pressures and wedge. I mean, the wedge is down to 48.5. I think we started at, what, 50.0? So that tells you how much we have taken a swing at this thing. So then, ready to go green for stage number 3, the final stage here from Chicagoland, and the green flag is going to be back out, and it's going to be about 24 laps of racing as Chase Elliott was able to get Truex in the pits, so he's back out in front. Truex P2, Bell, Larson right up there as well, ready to pound. So it's kind of a Hendrick versus Joe Gibbs face-off kind of day here. A lot of stacking up here through turns 1 and 2, but we get up to speed on the exit of the corner. Now into the top 10. The question is, how long can we stay up here? Because we have noted already that the short run speed in this 16 car today isn't quite there. So I was a bit concerned about that. On the exit of turn 4, Busher able to stay to my outside. 2 wins on the season for him, as well as for ourselves now after that win last episode in Sonoma. Our first road course win, of course, of our Cup Series career finally. So very happy to get one of those under our belt. But Elliott is struggling right now. He's got the 20 of Bell up his inside. inside, but I'm now starting to go backwards here. Here comes Carson Hocevar. He's going to take P10 from us. He's having a career day right now as Christopher Bell, sure enough, briefly to the lead. I'm split 3 wide by these Toyotas. Jones passes us in the LCM, Legacy Motor Club, or LMC, and then Bubba goes past me on the outside. I'm just going backwards. I'm getting swarmed 3 wide here with McDowell and Chastain. Contact with the 34. That sends him sliding into turn 1. A good save there from the 34 as he makes contact with Custer in the number 12. Chastain goes by on the inside. So does Stenhouse, and so does Ty Gibbs. So we drop down all the way to P17 with 20 laps to go once we cross the line here. Fortunately, we are kind of able to stabilize right here in the 17th position and focus in on moving forward again. Chase Elliott back out in front over the 20 of Bell, and you can see we were starting to find our strides again, and it was only taking about 5 or 6 laps for the car to really kick in, but those first 5 to 6 laps before it does kick in are just miserable. But we passed the one of Chastain, we're up into P15, we close in on the back of the Monster Energy 14th place, number 54 of Ty Gibbs, and we'll go to the inside. We should be able to pass him into 3. As of right now, 2 Joe Gibbs Racing drivers without a win this season. That's Ty Gibbs as well as Christopher Bell. Gibbs not making it easy actually for me to get past him now as we continue side by side across the stripe. 18 laps to go, but we should be able to complete the pass here into turn number 1, and the answer to that is in fact yes, we will. Now as we'll slide up in front on the exit of the corner. So P14, let's see what we can do, and look at this. My teammate of Daniel Hemrick, this is how you know we had a fast car today. 2 laps down, actually 1 lap down. He got the lucky dog, but he passes us there. That 31 is a rocket as we follow him into turn number 3. The 31 is blowing up again. Hemrick loses an engine for the 2nd time. The caution's going to fly this time, however, unlike last time where it stayed green. This is going to force everybody into the pit lane here. And this is where we're going to make a bit of maybe a surprise call. Everybody here obviously is going to take 2 tires. Hemrick got the caution he needed to go back in the lead lap, but he's out of the race now because his engine failed. But we're going to take 4 tires because I was not confident 2 tires were going to work for me. The short run I was going to drop like a rock, and then I felt like I was going to suffer later. Hocevar as well takes 4 tires. Both of us give up 13 positions. Brad Keselowski is out in front, not Chase Elliott, who had the lead at the time of the caution. So we're back underway, but we're down in P26, so we've got work to do. But I feel like a perfect case scenario here. We gain a bunch of track position. We maybe get to, anywhere in the top 15, get a caution, and maybe we can get a top 10 out of that with a late race restart, because we still have the 4 fresh tire advantage right to the back of the 42, 3 wide around the outside of Hocevar. Keselowski leads the way in 3 and 4, looking finally to get that first win as an owner driver. It's been a long time coming. 2022, 2023 was not able to win. He was close. This season he's been close, but it's not going to happen today because Kyle Larson would end up taking the lead, but Larson wants to get that first win. Only 1 win last season, and it came at the track you expected at Homestead, Miami, but can he hold on here today? Now look at this big group of cars right here. We're going to get aggressive, go down to the inside, a little bit of contact on the back of the 54, but we're 4 wide briefly through the tri-oval. Custer, Gibbs, McDowell as well up the inside of LaJoie, and this is a move that just allows me to propel into the top 15, passing Reddick as well and LaJoie. So up at a 14th, just continuing to slice through this field. A shot at the back of the 47, giving him a bit of a boost now as Larson continues to lead with 10 laps to go. But the question is how long, and the answer is not long. Truex now to the lead here in Chicago as we continue to fight our way forwards. We might get into the top 10 here as we pass the 23. I thought we were going to need a caution, honestly, to get into this top 10, but it looks like that's not going to be the case because now we pass Eric Jones for P11. That 43 car having a solid, respectable day once again here. That team still needs a little bit more, but Christopher Bell actually to the lead now with 8 laps to go as we run down 10th place of Joey Logano. We'll look to the inside with 7 to go. It's Bell, Larson, Elliott, Truex now 1 through 4 as we continue to fight with this 22, but we clear him, force his hand back out of it a little bit. Now to the back of Denny Hamlin here in these closing 6 laps, looking for the 9th position, and around goes Jones, blows a rear tire. The caution's gonna fly. This is gonna force a late race restart, and the good run for that 43 team comes to a heartbreaking end there as well. This went unnoticed, but Matt DiBenedetto out of the race, 26 laps down, but we're gonna be P10 for what I believe is a 3-lap dash here, and Christopher Bell's out in front. Elliott's up to 2nd at this point, Larson 3rd, Truex in 4th. Sure enough, It's 3 laps of racing here from Chicago. What can we do? We have fresher tires than everybody in front of us. Bowman right there in front of us trying to put together finally a respectable day here. Run top 10. He's going to get aggressive. He's going to force it 3 wide on Busher. I need to fill this gap immediately. We send it into there. We lean on the door of the 17 there. That was an extremely aggressive move. Surely he's not going to be thrilled with that one. And now we get more aggressive. Force the issue between the 48 and the 11 here of Hamlin and Bowman as well, as Bell is out in front. Larson back through to second, passing the 9 of Elliott. Byron side by side with Truex looking for 4th, and now we'll cut down onto the apron, looking to the inside of the FedEx Toyota Camry. We clear the 48, 2 laps to go. We lean on Hamlin on the exit of turn 2 a little bit there. We'll pass him. We'll look to the outside of the 6, a lap and a half to go. We are absolutely flying. It's shades of the Coke 600. We're right at the end. We had the speed that we needed to go and fight for a win. This time it took a significant tire advantage, but it's not going to be enough. White flag in the air. We needed another caution if we wanted to try and win this race. We'll go to the outside of that 24 Raptor machine into turn 1, but Christopher Bell out in front here. It's been a long time coming. He had such a strong regular season last season, won several races, kind of shades of Chase Elliott, won the regular season championship and kind of disappeared in the playoffs, never really had that mojo back, went winless in the playoffs and hasn't won yet this season, but that changes today for Christopher Bell. Win number 1 on the season, and it's in NASCAR's return to Chicagoland Speedway, a drag race to the line with the 24, but it's not enough. P6, which is still, you look at where we were in stage 1, 29th. That is a massive turnaround for us here. Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace round out the top 10 here in Chicago. Corey Hyman, his debut for Legacy Motor Club, 22nd place as well. And you see the rest of the finishing order there. Hamrick and DiBenedetto out to the race. Suarez never actually DNF'd. I didn't realize that. So he still was able to finish the race, not obviously in a great position. But there you see the playoff grid. So Vargas's car will end up hopefully out, and that will put Gibbs actually in. So Gibbs is actually the last one in, if we look at it like that. And he's 30 points above Daniel Suarez, basically, is what you need to know. Next episode, back to road course racing, Road America. Let's go get a 3rd win on the season. I'll see you guys then. Have a great day.